All right, we are back, closing out our AFC North scoreboard conversation. We talked about the Browns continue to lose. They're 1-5 in the season. They're dead last in the AFC North. The Cincinnati Bengals, of course, we spent the majority of the show there. They get the win last night, Sunday Night Football, 17-7, the final over the Giants. The Ravens get a big 7-point win over the Washington Commanders, and now that leaves the Steelers, who they put up 32 points. They put up 32 points yesterday. They beat the Raiders in Las Vegas 32-13, and they improved to 4-2 on the season. Now, again, they have their own problems over there as far as, not really problems, but they have their dilemma. They have a dilemma with quarterback. You have Russell Wilson, who's ready to play, who's ready to rock, apparently. Justin Fields, they've won 4 games with him this season, 6 games in as the starting quarterback. I don't think he's been elite. I don't think he's been very, very good. I think he's been okay. I think he was okay yesterday. 14 to 24, 145 yards. He didn't turn the ball over, so okay. But they put up 32 points, and they pick up their 4th win of the season. They're 4-2, 6 weeks in. It's a good win yesterday on the road. It's annoying, but the Steelers, once again, find a way to win a football game.
It's just always annoying. And when it comes crashing down, I can't wait for it to happen. I'm so tired of this fraudulent team. It's great that they win 9 times every year. No, there is not a 1% chance, not a 0.5% chance. There is a 0.0000% chance that the Pittsburgh Steelers win a Super Bowl with this roster. 0. None. Negative. The issue is they might occupy a playoff spot and kill the Bengals. That would be my nightmare scenario. The Steelers cannot make the playoffs this year. The Bengals have to beat them twice, have to take care of business. They're not a good team offensively. They're woeful. I mean, they are flat out woeful. Justin Fields, say whatever you want about him. 11 carries, 59 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's great. He's not a good quarterback. We can say whatever we want. We can put him in whatever situation you want. He's not a good passer. He's not. He can run around. He's great at running the ball. He's great. In a Tim Tebow sort of way, you can maybe work him out in an offense. Put him in wild. We'll make the Wildcat great again, and we'll use Justin Fields. But I am tired of watching this offense. Ugh, it's disgusting, and they're terrible. They're terrible. They win games. They're 4-2, and I can't knock them for beating bad teams because the Bengals lost to the Patriots. It would be hypocritical. But man, that team isn't good, and they're 4-2. And that's why it makes me so upset that the Bengals are 2-4 right now. Because you could be so much, but you're such a better team than the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Just put up 32 on the Raiders. I think that offense is looking pretty good. If you can score 30 points with that defense, you're going to win a lot of football games. And I think that's exactly what Justin Fields provides. Saw a lot of clips yesterday of that offensive line quite literally not knowing where they're at. I mean, Broderick Jones doesn't know when the ball's snapped, and there's free rushers every single play. I think if you have any other quarterback back there with any kind of less mobility than Justin Fields, I think he's getting killed and you're not moving the ball. Justin Fields has been able to consistently move the ball this year, has the Steelers sitting at 4-2. They're going to be pesky. They're going to continue to beat the teams that they're supposed to beat and muck it up against the teams that are better than them. So I think the Steelers are going to stay happily in the mix all year long. They're going to be sitting right around that 9-10 win mark, right in the mix for maybe even the AFC North, and certainly right in the mix for the playoffs. They're going to be, if the Bengals can't take care of business twice, they're going to be a team that probably occupies one of those spots, like Elliot just said. But, yeah, I think 2 touchdowns on the ground is absolutely the story for Justin Fields yesterday. 11 carries for 59 yards, over 5.5 yards per carry. It's exactly what you want out of him in that offense. And to see Najee Harris actually make a difference for really the first time since his rookie year, over 100 yards in his first touchdown of the season, looked like a different runner than he has for the last few years. So great to see that as well. I think the Steelers team's going to be okay. Certainly nothing special. Definitely a 0% chance to win the Super Bowl. But if you can, beat the Jets, Giants, and then just lose to the teams you're supposed to lose to, I think we're probably looking at a playoff team.
The way you prop up Justin Fields is the same stuff that you criticize Lamar Jackson for. I think that's why I just can't get on the Justin Fields train.
Yeah, but Lamar's paid to be better. I don't expect Justin Fields to win a Super Bowl. That's the difference. Like, I'm grading Lamar on I expect the Ravens to win a Super Bowl. I expect him to be a Super Bowl quarterback. I expect Justin Fields to get the Steelers to the playoffs.
But any team that goes and gets a quarterback should have the expectation of this quarterback needs to come in to help us win a Super Bowl. And this is always my knock. And I'm not arguing with you. I agree with you. I'm not putting Fields on the same ground as Lamar Jackson, but it's a knock at the Steelers for, are you ever going to aim to try to get a quarterback to compete at that level? Because that's why, again, all Mike Tomlin cares about is that 500 record every single year. Don't care if we get knocked out early in the playoffs. Hey, at least I can go down and say, hey, 500 every single season. So from that perspective, I agree with Jacob on. From that perspective, yes, Fields is doing what he's being asked to do. He's going out there. He's not losing his team the game. But again, when are the Steelers going to demand excellence from that position? Leader of men that Mike Tomlin is. They're perfectly content with just average production from the most important position in football. And hey, if that's what gets Mike Tomlin those 500, that 500 record every year, I guess more power to you. I know we've had this debate before. We don't really need to get into that side of it, but man, oh man, yes, from that perspective, Fields, especially when you talk about how bad that offensive line is. I mean, he was only sacked 3 times yesterday, but how many sacks would have happened yesterday if Russell Wilson's the quarterback?
Right.
Because of the lack of mobility. That I agree with you, and that could be one reason why he is still out there as long as he is.
Mr. Mo doing the Lord's work in the chat. Justin Fields has been better than Patrick Mahomes so far this year. 66% completion, 5 touchdowns to 1 interception with 1,100 yards in the air and a 93 quarterback rating. Mahomes, 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 1,200 yards and an 88 quarterback rating. Fields has been good this year. There's no other way to spin it.
He's not better than Patrick Mahomes.
No, he's not.
Close.
Not even close.
Okay.
I'm saying he's been fine this year, though.
No,
Patrick Mahomes is number 1 on the MVP.
He's been serviceable,
odds.
but there's nobody that thinks Justin Fields is a good quarterback.
I think he's a fine quarterback.
What out of how many quarterbacks would you take over Justin
Less
Fields?
than 20.
He's not a starting quarterback, though.
Oh, I think he absolutely is.
Oof.
I think he absolutely is.
With what the expectations of a starting quarterback are, that's a starting quarterback?
I think he can get you to the playoffs.
But he can never win a Super Bowl.
But I don't think every quarterback in the league is expected to win a Super Bowl.
No, and I don't think they're expected to win the
Right.
Super Bowl. My point is that team has, like, usually most teams in the NFL have somewhat of a shot if things go their way. Yada yada yada. I think there's no scenario in any world where this Pittsburgh offense is good enough to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he has
Oh,
100.
no
he has
scenario
100
in the world,
He has 100 more passing yards than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
He has the same passing. He has the same total touchdowns as Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson has a better completion percentage. And we know how bad Deshaun Watson is. I know
Well,
there's other metrics that can go and
Deshaun's
paint a
passer
different
rating?
picture. I know. No,
In
I
the
know.
70s?
I get that, but I'm just saying, like, we're gonna use the simple stats to say Fields is right up there with Patrick Mahomes.
No.
then
Fields has a
discredit-
94 passer rating. Mahomes has an 88. I said all the stats.
I know. I'm just saying in general.
He's better than Deshaun Watson. That's what I'm saying.
Is he?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Is
Every
he?
every quarterback has been.
Would you take? So you take Fields over Watson right now?
Yeah,
1
no question
million
about
percent,
it.
and
Yeah.
it's not remotely close.
It's close.
There's not a quarterback in the
No.
league I'd take below
Dude,
Deshaun Watson.
talent-wise,
There's 2 on the Raiders and 2 on the Colts I'd take above
It's
Deshaun
not
Watson.
like I make the Deshaun
Yeah.
Watson a bit because I think it's funny to make fun of that guy because I really don't like him. But he's been truly woeful this year. He's been talent-wise, outside of Aiden O'Connell. I'm trying to think of. I'd take Drake May over him. I'd literally take every quarterback over
Both
him.
of the Colts quarterbacks.
Maybe not Bryce Young. Maybe not Bryce.
No
Young.
Bryce. Andy?
I'd take Andy over him. 100%. I'd take Andy Dalton over him right now.
I think
And
the
that's
Browns,
just talent.
The Browns are 1-5 with Justin Fields at quarterback, just as much as they're 1-5.
No
with
way.
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I disagree
No
with that.
way.
Way.
No way.
What's Fields doing
disagree
that
with
Deshaun
that.
is not? What's he going
all
to
those
do
all those stats
with
that he
all
just
the
said.
with all
and
the
I was
problems?
just making fun of Justin Fields.
Those passes,
but now I have to come back and defend
those passes that Amari Cooper and Jerry Jeudy consistently drop. They catch those for Justin Fields.
If you're asking me if I think the Browns would have more wins with Justin Fields than they do with Deshaun Watson, I think they absolutely would.
Based on what?
I think the offensive line has been terrible. I think Fields would get you more on the ground. I think Fields would be better than the worst EPA quarterback of all time. I mean, I think literally any quarterback would elevate this Browns offense pretty considerably.
But the Browns haven't been losing just because of quarterback play. They can't run the football. They can't block.
And I think a lot of that is
the
because
receivers,
no one
when
respects
Deshaun
the
does throw
quarterback
really
play.
good passes, the receivers just straight up drop them. He had a beautiful pass yesterday that would have extended the drive to give him a chance to score a touchdown. Penalties bring them back. The drop pass again in a crunch time situation of a game. They catching that for Justin Fields. They catching
think the
that.
Browns
Penalties don't happen. Penalties don't happen when Justin Fields is out there. This team's just magically healthier because Justin Fields is out there. I think this team, built as is right now, with all the issues they've had from week 1 to now, are 1-5 with Fields and 1-5 with Deshaun Watson. I don't think it matters.